Everyone is still looking for Jesus today. And Jesus still heals today. In these accounts, we witness the reality, the fact of suffering. The author of the letter to the Hebrews reminds us we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weakness, but one who has similarly been tested in every way, yet without sin. Jesus, throughout the Gospels, sympathizes with the weakness and the suffering of others. He was moved with compassion at the death of the son of the widow of Nain, and at the death of Lazarus. We know that Jesus wept. And so Jesus sympathizes with us also today in our weakness and our suffering, because he was tested and like us in all ways except sin. And so suffering, though we do not like suffering and we try to avoid it at all costs, suffering can bear fruit within us and around us. We bring it to Jesus, the suffering servant. This is part of what is meant by the mystery of suffering in Christian teaching. Pope St. John Paul II wrote an entire encyclical devoted to this topic of suffering. Saint Jose Maria Escrivá, a priest, founder of Opus Dei, a priest from Spain, one of my favorite spiritual writers, he wrote, "The great Christian revolution has been to convert pain into fruitful suffering, and to turn a bad thing into something good. We have deprived the devil of this weapon, and with it we can conquer eternity." We have deprived the devil of this weapon. The devil wants us to suffer. He wants us to be unhappy. But then we can turn it around on the devil's head, and we take that suffering and we offer that and we unite that with the sufferings of Jesus for the good of others and the good of the world. This is exactly what Christ's entire life was about, his suffering, passion, and death. It was through suffering that Jesus turned it around on the devil and brought about the salvation of the world. And so the Lord has made our weakness and our frailties an actual path of deepening in relationship with him. Another great saint, Francis de Sales, in the 1500s, once wrote in a letter to one of the many who sought his holy counsel, he said, "God wants your misery to be the throne of his mercy, and he desires that your powerlessness be the seat of his omnipotence." He went on to say, "Be patient with the whole world, but above all, with yourself. I want to tell you not to lose your serenity because of your imperfections, and always to have the zest to raise yourself up." Middle school, especially high school, very challenging time in life. And there's a lot of stress, there's competition, especially junior, senior year, you're starting to think a lot more about college, needing to get into college. And you can look at your imperfections and your failings, and you can say, "Oh, if I would have done better here." And it's easy to be hard on yourself. But remember St. Francis de Sales' words, "Be patient with the whole world, but above all, patient with yourself. This is wonderful advice for all who understand the truth St. Paul addressed in his letter to the Corinthians. We hold this treasure of God's life within us, sanctifying grace, in earthen vessels. We are broken earthen vessels. But no matter what our affliction, the Lord still speaks his words he spoke to the leper when we kneel in humility before him and we ask him to heal us. And we can make the words of that leper our own. If you wish, Lord, you can make me clean. And then we will hear those words of Jesus. I do be made clean. Yes, Peter said, everyone is looking for you. And everyone is still looking for Jesus, and Jesus still